assignments, and then we'll post it for them. But you guys won't be in it.
Okay.
All right. Well, I'm Miss James. I am the reading and writing teacher, and I also teach my homeroom social studies.
And then I'm Miss Whaley, and I teach math and science to all of them, and then my homeroom I have social studies and learning as well. So we swap halfway through the day, so after lunch they swap classes and they'll get the other homeworks. So. Okay, so our yellow folders, I'm sure you guys are familiar with these by now. Each student has their own yellow folder, and it comes home with them every Friday, full of whatever assignments from the week they will have finished or any news that we need to get to you guys. And then you'll just look and see what's on the inside of it and then send it back Monday. If there's anything that needs to be signed, you'll send that back in the folder on Monday and we'll collect that. But that's about it for the yellow folders.
Does anybody have any questions about yellow folders? They're only sent home on Friday, so if there's notes or anything that need to come back to school, we'll talk about that, but they're only like for a weekend type of.
And if there's anything that we need to get to you that day, we'll send it home with them in their book bags or their planners that they keep in their bags, and we'll also send a message home on Dojo to make sure that you get that. And then also their Milestone Scores from 3rd grade, we have them, and we will be sending them home tomorrow in the yellow folders. So be on the lookout for those tomorrow when they get home. And those are your copies, so you're welcome to keep those.
Okay, so Classdojo is the app that we use as a form of parent communication. I think everybody in here is signed up. You just got your forms. Is anybody else? You guys are signed up on Classdojo?
Yes.
So we use that for behavior management as well. The kids get positive points for good behavior, and then they can turn in those points for like rewards and prizes. We also take points away for negative behavior, but the kids are always like obviously working towards earning points for their prizes. The other good thing about Classdojo that we really like is it's kind of like a messaging system. So if you've used Remind in the past, or just like it's similar to text messaging, like we get a message from the parent, we're able to respond very quickly. So we can see like up here it's just personal messages between the teacher and the parent. Nobody else can see. It's not like available to anybody. So it's really nice. It's a really easy way of communicating with us if you have a quick question. There's also something called like our class story, and me and Miss Whaley will both post different things that are going on in class. So we post pictures of the kids doing different activities. We'll post like reminders if there's an event coming up. Like I posted about the parent night tonight. I try to post as frequently as I can. Sometimes I honestly kind of forget, but I'm pretty consistent with posting, so I would highly suggest looking on here. And I think you can set it so you get like a notification, so you can see when you get when I have posted something or when Miss Whaley has. But it's a really good way to stay involved with what's going on. Does anybody have questions about Classdojo? The agenda books. So the agenda books, we kept them in the student binder. We called it like a homework binder. We won't write in those all the time, but we will have the kids write down like important dates of like field trips. If there's like an event after school, like I know that there's like a winter, what's the word I'm looking for?
Christmas program.
Christmas program. Thank you. So we'll post about that in there so that the kids will write about that in there, so they have that reminder. Any changes with homework, we'll have the kids write down, and then also it's a way for parents to communicate if you want to write a note to us in their agenda book. The kids are pretty responsible with showing that to us as well. So we typically don't have them write their homework down every single night in their agenda book. We'll talk about homework in a minute, but because their homework is pretty consistent from week to week, you won't see them writing down their homework every single week. But if anything were to change, we would have it in there.
For us, we have decided that we're going to do homework kind of together. So I have chosen just to do math homework, and she's doing just reading homework. If there is something like in science that we don't finish, then it may get sent home to try and finish if they have time at home. But for the majority, the only homework we're really going to be sending is math and reading. And both of us are using a week-long homework. So like you'll see, I don't know if you've seen the math this week. I hope you've seen the math this week. But this is what our math homework is going to look like. And you'll see at the top it just says Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It's not bad. There's 5 problems for each day. And so we did the first day together as a class. It takes about 5 to 10 minutes. They will have some questions on the homework because I'm not doing homework that is just pertaining to what we're learning. I'm doing what's called spiral homework, and so it's our standards for the whole year, so that like in May, they're still having homework based on what we're learning now, so they don't just forget it. So it continues to come up. So right now they do have homework that they haven't learned yet, but they know that if they have questions the night before, they're welcome to come ask me in the morning, and I'm willing to help them in the morning go through any problems that they might have. So we will go over questions in the morning of anything that they don't understand, and then on Friday they will turn in their math homework, and we'll go over it Friday. But hopefully if they've had any questions, they've been coming the next morning. I've had several questions so far, just trying to learn the format of it and how everything works. But this is really not bad. It takes about 5, maybe 7 minutes a night. And then Miss James has her reading homework.
So their reading homework is just a reading log. Thank you. We put the other one up. Yeah. So this was an example of one of the students from this week, actually. I asked her if I could make a copy of it. But basically they're just expected to read for 30 minutes each night. They'll write the title of their book, the number of pages that they've read, and then a response to their reading. A big standard and third and fourth and moving on is being able to respond to their reading through their writing. A lot of students are really good with orally telling you what happened in the book, but writing it down is more of a challenge. So this is just extra practice at home. All of this type of thinking is thinking that we do in class with books, so they're all very familiar with it. Some different types of thinking are up here, so like writing a summary, making a prediction, asking a question, making a connection, or visualizing something that's going on in the story. I try to encourage them to fill the whole box so they can write more than one. Like if they make a connection and they still have some more space, they can also ask a question. Shouldn't take super long to do that, but I do expect this to be in their own handwriting. I've had students in the past who their parent has written that in for them. So I do expect it to be them reading it and doing the writing as well. But you can obviously read with them. I would encourage that, listening to them read. Will you flip it over for me? In the bottom. The bottom is just kind of like a real quick, how much time they've spent reading on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Thursday. I told them at the beginning they could go somewhere between 20 and 30 minutes, but I do expect 30 minutes of reading. I mean, I know that there are nights that there's more going on, but overall I would hope for at least 30 minutes. The number of pages that they've read, and then this would just be the parent signature confirming that they have read those pages. Yeah, you can go to the other one now. And then they have this, which is kind of just a reference sheet for them, also for the parent if they're kind of struggling with what to write about. This just gives them like some sentence starters and what they could do for if they're writing a summary, making a prediction, asking a question, and so on. It's just a reference sheet for them to refer to. So this is in the clear protected sheet in their binder, and it'll just stay in there for them to use if needed. But again, my homework, I give it to them on Monday. They read Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, and Thursday night, and they turn in on Friday.
And then Miss James and I are doing the same thing. We're kind of working together in this to encourage making sure homework does get completed and turned in, because the purpose of both of our homework is not to give them extra work, it's to help them with those standards that they're trying to achieve by the end of the year, which is why we're not giving them a lot of just busy work. We're giving them something consistent that they can get good at. And so we have developed the homework club, and if they turn their homework in on Friday and it's completed, then they're a part of their homework club. And if they turn it in all 4 weeks of the month, then that last Friday the homework club gets to come back as a reward and have lunch with the teachers in the classroom. And so just a way to try and give an incentive for learning that habit of completing the homework, because we know as they progress into middle and high school, their homework load is going to increase. So we're trying to get them prepared now by just giving them a little each night to ease into that.
And I think, too, a big thing with the homework, like, I don't grade the responses for accuracy. I'm just grading for completion. And it's more so just that they're getting in the habit of the responsibility of having work at home to do and bringing it back to school.
Yes.
But are you grading yours for?
Mine will not be graded for accuracy. It will be completion, because they do come and ask me questions, and I offer help to make sure that they're doing it correctly instead of just like trying to get something down on a page, because I know that the standards are important and I want to make sure that they're understanding it, not so much that they're just like, I've got to finish this homework. So I do offer that help to make sure that they are getting those. And we know that life can get crazy sometimes, and there might be a night where they can't get it done. But that's why we give it to them, especially for me at the beginning of the week. If they want to do all the math that first night, they're more than welcome to. They're not going to turn it in until Friday. But if they want to break it down into that 5 problems a night to make it a little less, then that's perfectly fine. Okay. So we have a monthly calendar that will be sent home each month. I think I sent it home in August, and it's not a lot of information on it. It's just going to have any important dates that are coming up for that month, like if we have a field trip that month or if we have a special event that the school's doing, that will be on the calendar. And then I'm trying to put students' birthdays on there, because I want them, it's always nice for them to see their name in print and that we are celebrating them and we want them to have a great birthday. I love birthdays, and so I want them to get to have that celebration as well. We will put a little summary of what we're doing in each subject, just so that you can stay updated on, they really are teaching something. This is what they're doing in reading, writing, math, and social studies, and science. But other than that, it doesn't have a lot on it. It's just a quick overview of the month, just to keep you in the loop of what's going on in this classroom.
Morning announcements begin at 7:30 each morning, and our specials begin at 7:45 each morning. So they literally come in, eat breakfast, right? Come in, eat breakfast, and then they go straight to special. So there's not a lot of time. If they don't finish breakfast, we'll send it with them to their special. But we really want to encourage students to get here on time, because it is a very quick transition from the classroom into special.
Yes, as soon as our morning announcements finish, it is time for us to get up and walk to specials. So we do have a bit of a rushed morning, so it can be difficult sometimes trying to get everybody going in the morning. But we're getting used to our schedule, and everybody's getting kind of on top of that. For snacks, the school has a school-wide policy on snacks that was sent home in your Friday folders last week. They encourage some sort of like fruit, graham crackers, animal crackers, raw vegetables, snack mix, Sun Chips, or pretzels as the snack, pre-pop popcorn. Other good things are like Cheez-Its, Goldfish, anything that's really easy for them to eat and doesn't stain their fingers. A lot of times we let them eat snack as they're doing independent work, and that may include them being on their Chromebooks. And so we have to be very careful with what we use around the Chromebooks in order to keep those safe so they can continue using them. And then we are only allowed to have water in the school for the students. So no like sports drinks or soft drinks, because those stain things, and we're just trying to keep it just water.
And I really encourage students to come with a water bottle. It's been extremely hot out, so they're constantly wanting to go over, and get drinks. And for whatever reason, my drinking fountain does not work very well. So if they can bring a water bottle, definitely encouraging that. They go to the bathroom pretty much by themselves. We don't do a ton of whole class restroom breaks, so when they're leaving the instruction in the classroom. So having a water bottle is just a little bit more convenient.
Especially right now, it's so hot, and we go outside for about 30 minutes every day. So they are outside just running and running, and they come inside. You can imagine it gets a little stinky in here, but they need that water. So if they can have it right there with them, that is so good to have. Lunch. Our lunch times, my class goes to lunch at 11:31, and Miss James's class goes at 11:34. So we have a nice lunch, like right in the middle of the day. I understand that these are growing students, and I need a snack throughout the day, and so I know that they need a snack throughout the day. But we do have it right about in the middle of the day. So we encourage, if we have snacks, to have it in the morning, because after lunch there's only about 2 hours until they go home. So that's what we do.
Birthdays, we obviously want to celebrate everyone's birthday with increasing allergies and just different policies that have gone on. Tadmore is really trying to only allow birthday like pencils or like any kind of non-tangible, or I'm sorry, non-edible object is welcome to be brought in, but no like cupcakes, nothing like that. You could also purchase ice cream for the class. If you wanted to do that in the cafeteria, you can send in either money or come in to have lunch with your student, and if you're willing to do that, they enjoy that as well. But Mrs. Gower has said that no birthday treats are allowed.
And our ice cream is $1 a student. So if you wanted to bring or provide ice cream for the class, Miss James has 20 students and I have 19, so it would be right around $20 for the class. Does anybody have any questions for us?
¿Me pueden ayudar, por favor? Yo tengo una duda. Me comenta mi hija que han estado restando puntos a toda la clase porque tienen la situación de que hablan mucho en clase. Mi hija me dice que no le parece justo porque ella dice que hay compañeritos que no hablan en clase y que no le parece justo que les resten puntos a toda la clase cuando hay quienes no están tratando de comportarse o de guardar con
that you guys have been taking away points from like the whole class whenever they're being noisy or something, but like some kids that aren't being noisy are also getting deducted points. I'm just wondering why that's happening.
With the points, like I try not to take away points from anybody, honestly, but obviously like there are things that you have to reinforce, especially at the beginning of the year, so that behaviors do not continue. But with the whole class, like they don't just get a point taken away without a reminder, but a lot of times students are working in groups, so it's difficult to know exactly who's talking and who's not, if they're at like tables. So if we are taking a whole point away, it's because there are multiple students that are talking. But I don't feel like I haven't really done that. I feel like we don't do that as often. I would say more so in the beginning of the year, just to make sure that behaviors don't continue and students are able to stay focused. But
I know, like, especially in my class, the only time I take a point away from the entire class is when it is clearly the majority of the class is disrupting, and I don't do it on the first time. The only time I take away points is after I have reminded at least 2 times, and I'm like, for them, like the sound, as soon as they hear the sound of the point going away, they're like, oh no, like she's serious, we actually have to do this. But I never take away points without them knowing that they can still earn those back. And I'm constantly giving points. I'll re-give points to the entire class, like after they finish an activity, if they all have like realized that they're being way too noisy for the activity. When they correct, then they always earn those points back. And I'm always looking to see, especially individual students who are working above and beyond, to make sure that I'm rewarding them with those points. But I don't take away points unless I give the opportunity to earn those back. Because I know it's important to know that, okay, you might have made a choice that wasn't the best choice, but you can still earn that back because you're always working towards the next thing. It's not like you've lost your point and you're done. So.
Does that answer?
Okay. Otra pregunta, en cuestión del registro de la lectura diario, ¿se puede dar continuidad a un libro? Me refiero, no es necesario que se cambie diario de título de libro y de cosas así. ¿Podemos cada semana o hasta que se termine cierto libro, por decir? Si me lleva semana y media o 2 semanas, no hay ningún problema, o sea, lo podemos seguir poniendo todos los días el mismo título del libro y de qué página leyó, o sea, para que dé continuidad y termine un libro por completo, ¿sí se puede hacer?
She was wondering if they could use the same book, but like if it's a longer book, like just to keep on reading the same book, so they can finish it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Anybody else? Yeah.
I would say overall we've had an amazing start to our year. I know this is my first year, so I'm still learning along the way, and they're learning with me, but I've been so encouraged by each of your students. You all have amazing kids. They all bring something so different, but they're so great. They bring a lot of joy to my life, and I know Ms. James would probably say the same exact thing, but we're very blessed we have 2 amazing classes this year.
Really do. They work really well together. I've been very impressed by how well most of the kids have gone through, each grade together, whether in the same class or within the same grade level, so they're very familiar, but they do really well. And with switching, we were kind of, I taught 3rd grade. I'm from Ohio, just moved here. I taught 3rd grade for 4 years, and I always had my class the entire day, so I taught all subjects, so I was a little hesitant about how the switching would go, but I would say overall I think they do really well with transitioning. I think it gives them kind of a change of environment, and I think so far that they've liked it, so yeah. That's all we have.
Thank you guys so much for coming in. If you have not signed up for Classdojo yet, we have the instructions again, and we can help you get on that. Also, if you would each sign in, we have 2 sign-in sheets. If your child is in Ms. James's homeroom, then sign in on Ms. James's sheet, and if they're in my homeroom, then sign in on my sheet. But other than that, thank you guys so much for coming. We really appreciate your time.
And if you have any other questions, you can come up and ask.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming.
Tiene que firmar en la sí.
Isn't that for the dog? This
Yes.
Is the Nielsen is missing?
Okay. Let's see. You have a sweet boy. He comes in every morning and he's like, "Good morning, Miss Whaley. I'm ready to, or I'm excited to be here, whatever." And every morning, he just makes me so excited. So there is Spanish and English.
Okay.
And if you can download an app on your phone, then just go to the App Store and type in Classdojo, and it's a free app. But that way you can do it right from your phone, and you'll get notifications about it.
Okay.
So, and you can email me. Do you have my email?
No.
Okay, let me write it down for you real quick.
She's learning that
If you have a child in another grade level and you need to make your way to that grade level, the next session will be starting at 6:35.
I would say she's right where she needs to be. She likes to ask for help. I think sometimes she thinks that she can do
If you
less than
only
she
have
actually can.
one
We're
session
trying
to
to kind of
attend,
get
you
her
may go down to
to
the gym to pick up your child.
and not rely so much on graders. I'm trying to kind of.
If you have any questions, you can just email me,
Thank
and I'll get back to you on that.
Thank you, Miss.
Thank you so much.
Again, the next session will be
Hello.
at 6:35.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Let me see. Can you mind if I see it? This is
dice que sale y va a
he's amazing. He's such a sweet boy. He's so funny. But he's getting really good. And he doesn't talk in bad places. So it's just
Es que en los ciclos pasados ella se había tenido maestra que
I know right now in her class she's having to do a lot of testing for reading, so they're having to be really quiet because she has so much testing she has to do. But they're just about done with that, so she can because right now, every time I bring her over, I'm silent because she has so much testing she has to do. Okay, let's see.
Dice que a veces se siente que no puedo, pero de verdad sí puedo.
Parents, we have some additional information for you. Tenemos la información adicional para los papás. If you need some assistance with technology,
Yeah, every time I go to my email,
you can
it's
in the front
I'm
page
gonna
to get help.
let me see if, because this it says you have a child with a code. So let me see if I could just add this code and just put another name as another child for her.
Nobody else see it. Exactly.
This is my first year using this. I haven't used it in any of my other classes, so Miss James is having to teach me how to use it as well.
That's where if you want to post a comment, everybody can see it who's on there. If you do the messaging, it's just the private machine.
Okay, let's see.
Yeah.
Hi, Miss Whaley.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she'll tell you.
Yeah, sometimes I check, now that I open it.
Hi, my
by
loves.
myself.
There you go.
Sometimes
Now you're
I
in my
forget.
Yeah.
I'm not used to it. Like my other daughters.
Okay, so now I can talk to you.
Yes, now you can message me on there and I can contact you.
She showed me her.
Yes, perfect.
Like,
And so I'm guessing you don't need that anymore. Perfect. Okay, well, I'll see you guys
so they said,
tomorrow.
I mean, she's fine right now, so I don't have anything right now. If she's not happy, she complains and she comes to me and tell me.
Yeah.
So